recently at work, I was asked to be part of a team to kind of be this part of this core team to kick off this. Essentially, they call it like a growth project, top line growth for the company. Cool. Consultants are going to be involved, and it's more about how you grow the top line, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, great. Awesome, actually. These things are good. And it really got me thinking about how many initiatives I've been a part of over my career, and they end up a dead end, or they end up like forgotten or lost or broken, whatever. And what I mean by that is there's some the companies I've worked for, there's some really smart people that work there, and you get them in a room and you get them talking, and you get them coming up with ideas and strategies. Just awesome, tremendous. Like I'm always honored to be a part of that or be included in that group, because I really respect my peers, and to be considered in that light is awesome. But what I see the failure is, and why these things usually fail, like 9 times out of 10, is the execution, right? I have watched and been a part of so many workshops that you come up with strategies. We're going to do this, we're going to achieve that, and then like people walk out of it, whether it's an hour-long workshop, it's a day workshop, or a project over a couple of weeks, whatever. People who tend to walk out of those things feel really, really good, pumped up, and then slowly things revert back to how they were, and it's like such a waste of time. So I initially, again, was invited to one of these, and it hasn't really totally kicked off yet, but it got me thinking. Now, the person who's leading the charge on this is new to the organization, so in fairness, this person, in my mind, deserves a fair shot at this, because we've never seen this person have such an initiative, or any type of initiative like this that's a project level, and then run it and then execute it. So I think they deserve the benefit of the doubt. But the organization that I work for, rightfully so, a lot of the employees have like this fatigue with this type of stuff, because they've been asked to halt what they've been doing, have a topic, workshop it, come up with all these action items and whatnot, and then the leaders say, okay, well, we're going to meet to follow up to see how things are going and what we need to adjust, and they never do. And then people just get really annoyed and pissed off that they wasted all their time. So then you ask them to do it again a year later for a different topic, and it's like, here we go again. So what I'm getting at is many organizations can do just what we do, create growth initiatives, strategies, and whatnot. They got super smart people working there, the best of the best. But they have piss poor execution. And the planning, the strategizing is excellent, but they don't hold themselves accountable. And I'll give you an example where this does work. And this has been it might be my astrological sign, not that I'm like big into all that or anything like that, but I'm a Taurus, but someone said to me, oh yeah, Tauruses in a way have OCD. When somebody starts something, they need to see it all the way to the end, no matter what it is. They need to, kind of have a conclusion to it. And it's true. I think about that person who said that to me years and years and years ago, and it's probably why I feel this way for so many things and recognize it. Whether it's a diet, whether it's a workout routine, whether it's a to-do list. Like, I got to see it all the way to the end, and if I can't finish it, I have to be able to rationalize and justify why it didn't get done. It's just who I am, regardless if I'm a Taurus or not. So in my role, I will oversee, or had in my previous roles, overseen salespeople. And you get to a certain point of the year, you start planning for the next year, and you ask the team to come up with a plan, an actionable plan, whether it's including a forecast, what measures they're going to take to execute on their forecast, initiatives, risks, all that stuff. And you ask them to present that. And now the good ones will say, okay, well, this is my plan or my blueprint for the year. I'm gonna follow it. That's how I'm gonna be successful. But most, like, they leave that team building week or whatever, presentation week, and you're like, yeah, I feel like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do, I know what my number is, I know what I'm working towards, and then it just dwindles. So there is some self-accountability. The superstars hold themselves accountable to their own plan, right? They don't need someone standing over them and saying, this is what you need to do. You need to do your plan, execute your plan. No, the good ones are self-starters, and they'll be able to regularly communicate to you proactively, like, hey, we talked about this last, end of the year, and it's now end of Q1. So far I'm on plan, and I was able to execute these 3 things. This fourth thing, we had to tweak it a little bit, but whatever. But as a leadership, or as a leader, it's also important to hold them accountable and have check-ins, right? So where are we at? You said that by the end of the first half of the year, you were going to accomplish these initiatives. What's the status? Now, you've updated me on statuses throughout the year, but are they completed? Why not? What's changed? What do you know now that you didn't know when you put this plan together, and where do we need to pivot for the second half of the year? So then at the end of the year, whether you're successful or not, if you followed your plan, you can say, okay, well, these things worked well in the plan, these things did not. So you have already actionable items for the next one. And that goes with any project. How do you measure the success of a project, a workshop, an initiative, if you're not holding yourself accountable? So you may say, 6 months after you wrapped up a project or an initiative, in terms of like the planning part of it, say, we think it was successful. Why do you think it's successful? Well, we tried some of the things in it. We had really good meetings. Well, that's not executing the plan. That's actually not a successful plan if you don't execute it, because you don't truly know. You didn't actually do it. The sound of it sounded good. So anyway, I had been reflecting. What led to this video is I had been reflecting on this invitation that I received to be part of this plan, and or this project, I should say, this growth project. And at first I wanted to put my guard up and be like, okay, how much attention are you going to give this? Because we're going to be in the same old where we get through it, and then you start doing your part and everything, and then you start checking in with your superiors, and they're like, oh yeah, well, that's on park right now. We're not really talking about that anymore. We're on to something else. But I think in this case, as I talked about, because it's new leadership, you got to give them a fair shot. And you also, maybe, part of it is you hold them accountable and say, hey, when we met, we came to this conclusion, and that we have to work on these strategies. And we had this timeline for a check-in to see how we are. And I'm holding you, manager, accountable, because this is in exchange for the work that I put in on this. I ask for you to hold yourself and the team accountable to the deliverables. So to wrap this up, I'm just saying, I think the reason why so many strategies and initiatives fail is not because they themselves are poor. The execution is horrendous or non-existent. Lack of accountability. So if you are in a situation where you're an employee and you are not leading, you can also hold it's like they say, manage your manager. Hold leadership accountable for the for receiving your deliverable. Absolutely, because I've made that mistake in the past and have been upset. But speak up. Manage your manager. All right, well, this experience hopefully gave some insight, or if anything, those of you who watch the channel, maybe a little bit more insight to the business world that I work in and some of the challenges I face. But I don't think it's unique to me at all. There's so many broken diets, so many broken resolutions, so many broken plans because people don't hold themselves accountable or hold others accountable. All right, well, make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I love the discussion with you guys. It's awesome. And been doing a number of these types of videos recently because I've been traveling a lot for work, and instead of just kind of thinking about whatever I'm thinking about, I tend to just pop the video on and talk about it. So thanks for listening and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.